It's Tuesday, before the open. After the close. PBI. Caesar's taking calls too. By the there's the Hun coming back. What are we gonna do with the Hun if you're there, Jane? Let me take off the video so we can see the freaking chart. Hun. You know what? Speaking this GNK, you know what the strongest group going into this close is? Shippers. DHT still taking calls up here. Went to what Exxon did. It still went higher. Fro. TNK. Literally, it says tanker. Has tanker in the word. STNG. GNK. Shippers. Shippers. Ship. Could be, you know what? This ship. I've seen this thing go bananas. This could work. By the way, it's getting written down too. Ship. After the close. Well, it's before the open. After the close, PNLW, Devon, couple of shippers. I can rest. Nothing here major pin action. Nothing major. Devon, I could take it. Devon's not going to bring down the oil patch if it's bad, believe me. PNAW could bring down the security sector. GNK, so nothing really here. Major pin action. That's after the close, so I can rest until at least the morning, which is ADI, the boomer, freaking big daddy. Garmin, SCDG, Ripper. Got to write that one down. SCDG. That one's got everything going for it at the right moment. At the right moment. Speaking about stocks that had things at the right moment, okay, what's been working, okay? FRMI, right? The calls when no one wanted to work. CMPS, it's self-explanatory. Look at that thing. Sold that one. That worked. Okay, I want to see some things on TGH. Let's go. Okay? I always say in the room, scroll up. It's more important. Let's talk about now power. Amazon taking the most amount of calls today, and the healthy ones. Granted, they're weeklies, so I wouldn't be looking for, and they're not leaps. So nobody's saying, I know Ackman took a position, blah blah blah. The weeklies and the hot ones, Amazon. Maybe a little bit, maybe emblematic on maybe a MAGA bounce. Amazon taking the most calls. CCL taking a lot of calls here. Clean. And that's right after the LUV upgrade. Transport's acting continuously well as crude stocks take the pullback. Brilliant. Bullish. LUV. If you didn't own it, would you buy it? I don't know. LUV, another one. Delta. With JNorm. UAL taking calls. So the ones that are taking calls today, CCL, and Viking Cruises, the international CCL. We know the international markets have been stronger, if you will. ONDS, you all know it. It's the drone stock. They're in it. I get it. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Pure. SEDG. Now it's going into earnings. You don't want to be wrong that, man. Oh, my God, if you're Bush. All right, NXT. Speaking of SEDG and the solar sector, if you will, NXT, which has been the best of breed, it has everything you want no matter what. If you're scrolling through charts, you don't have to be scrolling through the solar sector to know that NXT is good. This has the gap, everything you want in it. NXT, pure solar play. Another one hanging in there, by the way. I bought a little. I have a feeling I'm going to be wrong before I'm going to be right. And it's an animal. No, it's not pony. No, it's not bull. No, it's not fly. It's wolf. By the way, if you're wondering, I don't know listen, the rotation is stronger than an individual stock. Hence my Devon analogy, which may come out later tonight. I don't think it's going to be proven wrong. But this General Mills, by the way, did have something to do coming down with the Procter and Gamble. But by the way, I came along Conagra Foods. Look at Conagra. I came up with BGS. Oh yeah, I know it. All right, that should happen. That should happen today with BGS. I know the chart like the back of my hand. It's still holding a weekly, but BGS, the food sector. Bottom line is this. I had Conagra Foods. CAG is the symbol. Who would have thought I lost the loss? But you know what? I bit the bullet. I bought it all and then I sold it. Bit the bullet. What a horrible cliche. Boy, do I sound old. I sold it 1880, Conagra Food. So, okay, you know what? Maybe that's the reason why Apple's having another huge day. Now it's almost like 5% from the high with it. All right, so if Clorox pulls back $5, okay, big deal. Don't be surprised if software goes down and these things base a little bit coming due. Same thing with the DuPont. It's not over. Okay. Now, this is what I see when I see the Jesus feed. The Russell lagging a little bit. Beautiful. Fine. Okay. And CLH, that had it. This was clean. This had, you want to talk about price action, trumping sentiment, although the airlines have been, NCLH. You go to the weekly on this thing. Maybe that's the, my God, that was a bio I'd been loading into. What's the difference, to be honest with you? But NCLH hanging in there, had a huge up day. They could have sold it off, and it's near the high, if you will. And you know what? With CCL and VIK taking calls, maybe there's something there. They don't always work. Most of the times they do. You got to work the trade. Crocs, another power earnings gap. What was wrong with this? It was up $11 that earnings day. Now, granted, it's a little bit looser than you wanted to see with a stock like that, but it had the proverbial support. It has moving average support. It's in the right sector. Retailers are hanging in there. Stocks. You know what I always say, like that, seeing past stocks that are taking calls like in the top. Let's look at past ones. CTRA, what's that doing? This stock is taking leaps and continuous leaps. Coterra Energy. There's an update on that one. What else is taking leaps? QXO is self-explanatory. JP and the boys. That guy keeps bouncing off the 200 day. I'm going to tell you, he's got a nice entry point. That's still taking some nice calls. Cisco, the other food. I bet you that's down today. It has to be down today. Does it have to? No. But every other food stock's down. Yeah, there's the reversal. And the other Cisco. Stock's down. Thank you, Hugo. Or the juice. Okay, a couple of things. Okay. We're going to go to TradeGateHub for a second. Now, good morning, everyone. Baba Khan. Gold is forming a nice base. Gold is forming a nice base, and gold is taking calls, Barbara. Thanks for tuning in. Wheat is closed below the breakout line. You want to know something I found, gold? You there? You know what's taking calls? Wheat. The ETF. And you know what else is taking calls? Corn. Now, it's very ironic. Well, it's not ironic, really. Let's look at that. Where is corn? You know what? I knew something was up. Very rarely does corn, the ETF, come across my screen. But you know what? It could be corn. It could be cotton. It has range, volume. So see there, the channel is clear on that one. I can answer your question on. I don't know if it correlates exactly to wheat. Okay. Today, obviously being Tuesday, we were off. Yesterday being Monday. But the majority of data that I put out, it's over the weekend, and it's the schedule, if you will. It's the plan. It's not necessary. How do I know I'm going to be buying on when I post Sunday evening? Hold on. I don't know. How do I know that I'm going to be what I'm going to be buying Thursday evening when on that previous Sunday, I'm posting the data? It's all about the plan. So do me, okay? I do not suggest only going to the Mike V daily comments room because that's just me. And believe me, I'm all right. But over the weekend, as you can see here, my data that I post, my posts are uninterrupted. Uh, and over the weekend, for example, always click data to enlarge images. You know, always click images to enlarge. My mind goes so fast. All right. So the Mike V room. And by the way, if you really want to enlarge, you go to settings, appearance. Let's go 20 timer. Okay. There's the schedule for the weekend. I post this usually Sunday evening. All right. Here's the Catalyst Watch. Today's Tuesday. What's going on here? Ex dividend. Anyway, somebody asked me a dividend the other day. That's a sharing. All right. These are some of the catalysts throughout the week. Tomorrow, some catalysts. There's the ADI earnings, if you will. All right. So go through all the general room is the room. It's the room everybody posts in. If you want to just hear coaches, watch coaches' data, same point as me, your Mike V daily comments. But because if maybe if you miss a day or two and you don't want to scroll through, days of general data, because we are posting fast and furious, and just go to my room and you'll see there's the earnings schedule. Always click. Yeah. For those students, no matter what time frame, this is your menu. You can always add or delete. These are the top 40 strongest stops in terms of relative strength, market cap. Trust me, you can go from there. And I posted and so on. Okay. There's Goldman. Everybody's trying to pick the bottom in software. That's why it's so stale. This guy's a sharp guy. Follow him. I'll post it later. Lucid calls. You know what? I saw this Rivian, which has a nice day on Friday or Thursday. There's lucid calls. These are not the calls you want. The Rivian had the same kind of gap, had kind of like the same move as like a Crocs. Had that gap and then pulled back and then just waiting to go again. You know what I mean? Kind of pull. Well, Crocs is stronger because it's above, but it had like that gap and the pull back, that second day down. Maybe tomorrow it's taking some calls, but Lucid's well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. Let's go to the boys. Okay. No, no, these are not the boys. The boys is a hidden situation. All right. First of all, I only follow 62 people. And by the way, I don't even follow myself. I don't even follow. Hold on. Seriously. I know Coach doesn't take offense to this because he's a pro. I don't even follow Coach. There's not one FX person here. There's not even a commodity guy. Pure equities. I don't even think I follow TradeGateHub. Okay. With that being said, we do follow Larry Tentarelli, who, by the way, is a multiple guest of TradeGateHub, and it's not because of me. It's because of a guy named Dale Pinker. Traders call him Coach. But let's go with what Larry says. This is a macro market, man. All right, you see what they're buying. They're going into some Amazon calls. They're not getting sexy with these ancillary ones. No, where's Larry? When you want to listen to Larry and Coach, what's going on here? Creamer's on vacation. Sharp dude, my friend DP. Good trader. Sunrise, just like me. At JP Morgan, Connor Bates, I posted this kid, now he's got 50,000 subscribers. When I said I wanted him to try to get him to work for me, I think he had 12,000, maybe 16,000. But sharp kid, follow him. He's the now kid. Believe me. And these are the leading stock themes. If you don't know the charts on these, you should know that you should know every one of these charts by heart. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. There's the ONDS calls, like I said before, trust the data that's on the public Jesus feed. There's the fly calls, I said, on the public Jesus. There are the cure calls. The cure. I love the cure. DHT. This is also it's symbolic, emblematic, whatever you want to call it, of the shipper. This thing all over the board. But you know what? It doesn't mean you just got to pull out DHT. When the shippers go up, I think it's inflationary. So maybe it's just not DHT. Oh, let me just buy some DHT. First of all, you look at all the other shippers which already went through. Secondly, you have to think second or third level. It might be something, at least for a play in the market. Doesn't mean you have to act on it. What's a Luddite? Another one. I post this guy's data, Ariel. ITA, one of the strongest groups again. All right. And I know everybody, this is the obviously aerospace. I know everybody wants to buy to make the money in APLD and have fun with NBIS and IONQ. It's fun. Those things are fun. All right. But you know what? Freaking Coca-Cola was fun 8 points ago. That's when that fly is up. That's the situation, even though it's a dog. The VIX. Nike. I don't like this company. You'll see Nike in Five Below soon. That's a horrible company. Nice trade, man. Nice trade in the CEG. Because you know what? Sunrise Charter probably, first of all, he knew the rotation, probably saw the calls. Chase Coleman new positions. They used to be, people used to follow these big people big. Added to the pony, CRCL calls, space. Now everybody's in it. Zillow had a takeover rumor yesterday. Couldn't even go up a freaking half a point. Is the ES chart. There we go. JP Morgan, another one. All right, so you want to talk about price action? JP Morgan, software sell-off overdone. ServiceNow, I sold the stock at 122 after earnings. No, I think it was 127. Right here. Goldman put it on their conviction list at 100. If Goldman put ServiceNow on their conviction list here, it would be up $30. 30. Here it went down. That's the difference. You with me? The conviction list at 100. Nobody's with me? All right, then you know what? I'll go then. Have a nice day. Market pulling back in an aggressive manner. I'm shorting them. All right, I'm going to do that. Macy's. You like Macy's? Buy more Macy's. It's at the high of the day. Look at this thing. How does this not work? All right, put the SPY or even the Russell over the Macy's chart. Oh man, look at that. Listen, you short Macy's, you're in trouble. This might work. This might work. Netflix, calls on Netflix. There it is. When no one's looking. You know, the same thing happened with this other one I was long, David Fingerer. Now look at, I turned around, went through all the pain at this at 32. I turned around, it's 37. How the hell did this happen? Oh. Futures coming in rapidly. Are the VIX coming in rapidly? Or is this Where's my chart? Where's my chart? Oh. VIX. Not even doing anything. Here's the SPYs. Or near the, well, I don't want to say near the, I'm not near the low. Here's this guy. You know what? It's sloppy. You know what it just said? It's sloppy. What is this? A lot of things are going on here. And then you know what's going up? Nuclear. EOS, nice bounce off support. That's EOS. That's what you want to try. That's a sherry trade right there. Stock pulling back. Really, you know, no gaps down. Listen, I'm not going to say it's going to turn around and go up to 20, but it held where it had to be. It's like a JP Morgan. The 200-day says everything. The bottom line. Oh my God, they're in Macy's. The department store sector is on fire today. There, now I have 200,000 ARBE. I'm in. The baby's in with the bathwater. I do have 200,000. If I was down, if I was up in it, I'd have about 20,000. But it's taking calls. I'm telling you, this is the same thing happened with all of them. CMPS, SGHC, they took them down. ARBE, a robotic stock, is taking calls and a lot of calls. I can't say buy my pain because it's a dollar stock. But I have a feeling I don't want to be celebrating alone. Let's put it that way. No fun alone. AAL breaking high. The airlines are breaking high as we speak. American Airlines. Okay, so it may not just be cruise lines. There's AAL. It's the high today. Well, Fastly. Riven can't get going. Riven's got nothing. Riven should have popped already with this daily, but you never know. Above the 200-day, that's was Macy's. That's going to be my big one, I think. See this SQSR restaurant? I'll leave it there, guys. You know what I mean? I'm that Crocs had a hell of a comeback, man. I think this Macy's is going to work. They even took back up the Burke. The Birkenstocks are getting more expensive now for my gifts. Buying 2 more thousand Macy's. I might take this up big. I might take it up big. There's the daily on Macy's. Great price action. Crude looks like it's taking a rest. It's up to Coach Dale Pinkert to let me know. I'm going to do it. If they could take Crocs up like this, there's the weekly on Crocs. That's the problem. Resistance on our weekly Crocs. Right at the 100 at the century level. Be careful. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll do better next time. Jose?
Yes, sir.
Have a nice day.
You too, sir.
Thanks for inspiring me to put on better videos.